Welcome everybody to the Digital Nomad Sessions. My name is Mitch, your host, and I have a very special guest, someone who's highly experienced in the digital nomadic lifestyle, Nick Wharton from Goats on the Road. Nick, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm excited to be here. Excited to get started talking about this stuff.
Absolutely. And today we're going to be diving into affiliate marketing and SEO. And you're someone who has a ton of experience in that space. But let me introduce you to Nick. Nick is the co-founder of Goats on the Road, a blog designed to help people learn how to earn money on the road through online business so that they can travel as much as they want. And if I'm not mistaken, you've been doing this since basically 2011. Is that right?
Yeah. Actually, we started the blog in 2012. At first, we had just left Canada and then traveled for a year, and then we decided, to start traveling with a blog and see if we could start it up and make money from it. So, we figured that out along the way, and here we are.
Yeah, amazing. And we could probably chat for hours about the experiences you've had along the way, but let's dive into the topic of today, which is affiliate marketing and SEO. So I guess before we dive into the specifics, and I'm excited because you're actually going to be sharing your screen and going really in depth into this today. But before we dive into that, maybe help people at home, give them an understanding of what affiliate marketing and SEO really means, why you decided this strategy for your business and have become a go-to person for this, and also how it's positively affected your business and your life since implementing this as well.
Okay. So I'll start with what is SEO. SEO is basically optimizing your website and the content on your website in order to be able to speak to search engines like Google a little bit better, a little bit clearer, so that Google sends you traffic. 90% of all web traffic, something like that, goes through Google. So if you can be friends with Google and Google wants to send you people, that's the way you want to be. And affiliate marketing is the act of basically signing up for programs with different companies and saying, when I recommend one of my readers to purchase your product or use your service, then I get a commission for it. So there's lots of these programs all over the web. You can sign up for them in 5 minutes in most cases, and then you start making money while your readers are booking tours or staying in hotels or are purchasing services online, whatever it is. And the reason that I chose to use both of these together is because by having SEO, you have a constant flow of traffic coming to your site. And the only way, in my experience, to really be successful with affiliate marketing is to have that constant flow of traffic coming in on the proper key terms where people are actually choosing to purchase products or services online. And when you have that set up, it's like a beautiful symphony, and all of a sudden you start getting money coming. And it's changed our life and our business completely, because once we started doing this, our business went from kind of it was just running, it was doing okay, to the next level where it was actually affording us a lifestyle of, full-time travel and nice hotels, and we were able to save money. So it totally changed our lives. And that's why I'm sharing it with you today. It's the best thing we've done.
Yeah, amazing. That's really cool. And I guess it didn't happen overnight for you, right? It's a bit of a process doing this strategy.
Yeah, it definitely is. And you kind of throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and keep trying to get something to stick. And even when you have everything nailed down, like if you were to follow the process I'm going to share today, it's a really good process. It's the best one we've found over the years and years that we've been doing this. But even then, you're trying different things, and maybe 1 in 10 posts really hits that mark, but you only need one to make, good money from it. And once you're ranking in Google too, it's not just about the money. Sometimes you can rank for something like, in our case, it might be the best travel jobs. And that kind of thing, when people find that in Google, if they come to your post and it's really useful, then you're going to help a lot of people through that. You might help them figure out how to get a freelancing job online, writing, doing what they love, instead of working at a job that they don't enjoy. So it's a twofold kind of thing. Once you get a lot of traffic through Google, you can have the impact on people, and you can also, make some money, which is also nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess you're sort of becoming the go-to authority that people know, like, and trust in that space as well. And they'll probably, follow you on your journey, which helps you in other different ways as well. But let's dive into the strategy now. So
Okay.
I guess, where's the best place for us to start thinking, or the start of this strategy? Where should we be thinking to get started?
All right, so I guess the first thing would be to choose a topic. A lot of people who are watching this probably already have a website or they're thinking of starting one. So once you have that, the website running and you know what your niche is, maybe your niche is internet marketing or your niche is golfing, let's say it's golfing. And you're going to want to think of a topic that you're going to want to write about. So it might be about golf clubs. And that's basically the first step, just thinking, what are my readers going to want when they come to my blog? Because everyone's blog is different. Like if I wrote about golfing on Goats on the Road, it wouldn't work because we're mostly a travel and lifestyle website. But for your own website, you have to know what your readers want, what your niche is, what your topic is, and then pick a blog post on a more specific level than your overall blog. So if it was a blog called Golfing World, then you might want to write the best golf club for men. And then that's where you start going to the next step, which is keyword research.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. And I think we're going to dive into the keyword research. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I'm going to share my screen here.
Perfect.
Here we go. Okay, so what I start doing when I'm doing keyword research is I use this tool called Key Search. There are free tools out there, but I just find that for the cost to effectiveness ratio, Key Search is the best. There's one out there called Ahrefs, but it's really expensive. It's like $200 a month. And I think Key Search only comes in at $10 a month or something. So I'm going to be using this program. It's one of the most popular keyword research programs that you can get. So I love it. I use it all the time. And basically what you do when you come in here is you go to the keyword research tab and click keyword research, and it'll bring you to this screen. And from here, you can type in ideas of keywords that you're thinking of writing about. So some people might think, oh, I'm going to maybe search the keyword golf clubs. I want to write about golf clubs. So I'll just search golf clubs. And you'll see from up in here on the top right now, after you hit search, it's just kind of searching all the data that it gathers from around the web. And as you can see up here, golf clubs has 246,000 people searching it every month. It says that under volume. That's how many people search it per month. And you don't have to worry about these two columns so much right now. They're pay-per-clicks. But over here, it says score, and that's the difficulty score that Key Search kind of guesses how hard it would be to rank for. And it says that this is a 46. It's probably much harder than that. But you have to think about when you're trying to make money through affiliate marketing using SEO, you want to think about the buyer's journey. So you want to think about what people are going to search in Google just before they're going to go buy golf clubs online. So in this case, if they're searching golf clubs, they're probably not looking for a purchase. They're probably just searching different brands of golf clubs. They're in the very start of their buyer's journey. So you want to try to figure out a keyword that's maybe further along in the buyer's journey, right before they're going to hit that purchase button. So a lot of the ways that you can, one of the best ways you can do that is just to change this and make it a little bit more specific, change the keyword. So most people, before they are going to purchase a product, they'll use terms like best. And then you want to make it a little bit more specific. So you're searching for what you're going to be writing about down the road. So you want to make sure it's kind of as specific as possible. So when people come there, they're like, that's exactly what they were looking for. And they're thinking, this is the post I want to read. So in this case, maybe we'll do best golf clubs for men. Hit enter. And then you have to wait for it to do all its things again. Okay, and then this says it only has 880 as search volume, so 880 people searching it per month, but the score is 42. So that means that there's fewer people searching for it, but the difficulty level is decent. You can also check different ones down the list. So this keyword area on the right is giving you a list of different keyword ideas that you can choose from. So this one here has 140 people searching it per month, and the difficulty score is 35. I don't use this difficulty score as the be all and end all. It's not exactly 100% accurate, and we'll get into a little bit more about how to figure this out even clearer for yourself. But basically, if you get, when it's green, it means it's a little easier to rank for. Orange is a little more difficult, and red is like very difficult. That's 50 and up, and it means that you're probably not going to be able to rank for it. So in this case, maybe best golf clubs for men or best men's golf club sets, 140 searches per month, which is okay. and there's a 35 score. So what you do is you may be thinking, okay, maybe my post title is going to be best men's golf club sets. And then you look over here on the left and you see who is ranking right now in Google. And this is the best area. You know, you can find out a lot of good data in here in this little box down here. So what you're going to do is you're going to look for red. If there's a lot of red in these columns, it means that it's actually more difficult to rank for. So page authority and domain authority, those are two ranking factors that Moz has created to kind of give you an idea of how strong the domain is overall, like so the whole website and the particular page. So in this case, a DA of 50 and 60 is going to be a little bit harder to beat, but these ones down here, they're 20 and 27. So the DA is lower, so it's not as strong of a domain and website that you're going up against. And then what you want to look at is over here, the authority. That means how many links are pointing to that blog post. So the more links you have from different websites pointing to one blog post, the more power that one blog post has. So if these people all have a lot of links under this auth column, authority, that means it's going to be hard to rank for. So you don't want to go for that if there's a lot of red in here. And then you're going to look over here at title, description, and URL. And below there, we have almost all no's, which means that they don't have this keyword, best men's golf club sets, in the title of their blog post. They don't have it in the description or meta, and they don't have it in the URL, which is like this part up here in their blog. So that's a good sign. If there's no, it means that these sites probably aren't going for that particular key term. So maybe you would choose that one. And that's the first part of keyword research. I know this is kind of boring, but it really does work once you get into this. It's boring before you get into it, but anyone who's done keyword research and had a successful post knows that it actually gets really exciting. It looks just like a bunch of boring data, but once you start seeing good keywords, you know, SEOers like me and anyone online is always like, oh yeah, I'm going to go for that. And you get excited, you get pumped about it. But when you're first looking at this, it does just look like a bunch of boring data. So again, basically
you took that completely from my mind. I was thinking the same thing. Like, yeah, it looks boring now, but as soon as you make some progress and have some sales coming in, it gets a whole lot more exciting.
Yeah, exactly. You just need to, you know, try a bunch of times, and you're writing blog posts and you're finding these keywords, and you keep trying and you find what works for your blog. And once you've kind of narrowed this down to where, okay, you have a keyword over here and you're like, if it says it's a 40, and then if there's a lot of no's and no red over here in this graph, then you know, like with your blog, you're like, okay, I can probably rank for this. And particularly, you really want to hone down your niche of your site. So if your site is just about golfing, this is perfect for you, right? But you want to make sure it's to your niche. Like, don't be writing about golf clubs, like we said, if you're a travel website and everything like that. But yeah, like exactly like you said at first, it's just boring. But this is the first step. It's really basic. So you just type in a keyword here, and then you look at the right column over here, and it gives you a bunch of different ideas for different keywords. And these are potential different blog posts you could write. Try to find one that has, you know, a decent volume, somewhere over 100. If you can get up to 3,000 in volume while still being under 35 and under difficulty, that's really, really good. And once you find one of those, you start coming down over here. You click on it so that it loads it, and then you start coming down over here into this graph and using this data to try to figure out what your difficulty is going to be at when you're going up against people in Google. So that's like the first step. So we can do another example if you want. Do you want to do another example, or you think that's?
I mean, I think we can keep moving forward, but I sort of just want to recap everything that you mentioned there and just highlight like how much value is in this presentation already. This is a part that I see so many people miss. When I've started my first blog that completely failed 5 years ago, this is something we didn't even think about. And I think like it's probably the difference between what makes people successful and what makes people give up after 6 to 9 months after getting no results. So yeah, I think this is, like you said, it looks like just a whole bunch of data on the screen now, but it's the most important part. And if you can reframe this data into being the cash that is going to fund your travels, yeah, it's such a valuable thing to know. So yeah, I mean, thanks for sharing, Nick, and yeah, I'm excited to continue on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, me too. So like you said, this data can be the difference between getting traffic on your site and maybe quitting. That's totally right, because you think maybe you're writing 2 posts a month or 2 posts a week or maybe 4 posts a month or something. And if in this case, you know, some of these keywords, if you're writing this one here, has 880 searches per month, you know, if you rank in the first or second position in Google for that term, you're probably going to get 400 of that. Then all of a sudden this starts to compound on each other. You have one post ranking the second place in Google that gets 1,000 searches a month, so you're getting about 400. Then you have another post that you wrote that's got, you know, 800 a month, and you're getting 200 from that. And as long as you're doing SEO, it goes and it just piles on top of each other when you're following the strategy. And yeah, exactly like you said, if you don't focus on SEO and you don't think about this at all, you're going to have a 1 in a million chance of maybe ranking somewhere in Google. But if you're focusing on SEO and you're doing this kind of keyword research, it's going to exponentially increase your chances of ranking and therefore getting more traffic, more income, and more people on your blog. So the next thing I like to do after this part here, we've kind of chose our keyword and we've checked over here to make sure that it's not too much red and that we have a good chance of ranking for that keyword. Then I would go into this more tools section and go to, okay, well, let's say we're writing best golf clubs for men in this case. Then we go into the more tools and go to content assistant. And this is kind of the second level of keyword research that so many people don't do. So even people who have key search as a plugin on their site, or they pay for this membership, so many of them only use that first screen, which is a big mistake. There's a lot of other great tools that you can find in this. So I'm going to go over one more and show you just how useful this tool can be. So you take your same keyword that we had in the last screen and you paste it in here and hit search again. And now this screen on the right is going to give us a lot of data. So right away, it shows must words. So what you're going to want to do is, you know, write these down or open a new tab in your browser. And what these are words that you should have in the post you're going to write. So you've already got the title of your post. You know, it's going to be best golf clubs for men, a buyer's guide or something like that. You can add more words onto the keyword. Just make sure that in the title of the post, you include exactly best golf clubs for men. And then within the post, you're going to want to include all of these other keywords. These are kind of like secondary keywords. And the way that Key Search finds these is it searches the top 10 results in Google today, and it finds correlations between different blog posts. So a lot of blog posts in the top 10 have golf club sets somewhere in their post. So Key Search is saying, hey, you should too, because Google obviously is looking at that and giving it some kind of ranking. So you try to get as many of these as you can into your post. And as you can see, a lot of them are so useful for you. So they're actually going to help you write a better blog post anyway, because you might not have thought of, you know, the stand bag or the pitching wedge while you're writing your post. So you're going to use all these words, and it's also going to help you to build up that post and make it more useful. And I want to say that as well, when we get to the next part, which is actually writing the content, is that you really want to write the most useful post possible. You're not stuffing keywords. You're not making it just for Google. You're doing it for your readers first, to make the best content you possibly can. This is just helping you also speak to Google, but number one is the reader, of course. So after you've done this, this is in the main tab, you can go to keywords, and that's just clicking this tab up here, and it's giving you related keywords. So it's another thing you can use when you're writing your posts to get ideas, and it's just more keywords that you can put into your post, and it's also drawn from what other people have in their posts that are ranking. Next up, I like to click on the, hold on a second, questions tab. Yeah, I usually skip the research one, but under questions, it gives you a lot of questions that people are asking in sites like Quora and those question sites, ask.com. And this also gives you a great idea of what people are searching when they're thinking about buying golf clubs. It's super handy, these questions. So you can kind of add these into your blog post as you're writing it. Make sure you answer all these questions in your post, and it really helps you to write a better post. And the last thing I like to do in this screen is click on this SERPs tab right here. And SERPs is search engine results pages. Basically, it's what is in the top 10 results right now in Google. But what I use this page for is mostly this right here, this word count. So it tells you what the word count is of every blog post in the top 10 results. And you want to use this because it gives you an idea of what Google is ranking. If the question is a quick answer, like if you were to ask Google, what's the weather in Rome, then these would probably all be like 500 words because there's no need for a really long answer. So Google's only going to rank people who are getting the answer quick. But when people are searching best golf clubs for men and they're thinking about buying something, Google wants to probably rank them with like long posts, all the big useful buying guides. So it's different for every kind of keyword that you're going to use. It doesn't always mean that every post should be 10,000 words. You should really look in this section and find out what Google's ranking right now. So I see a lot of, 3,500, 4,100. The average seems to be around, there's a 6,000 post. So the average in this seems to be around 3,000 to 4,000. But because there's one 6,000 post, I might try to write a little bit longer than that post just to make sure my guide is more in depth. And I don't just mean stuffing words in to be like, oh, my word count's climbing. You're adding great content, useful content, using the questions tab from in here and using the, the keywords that we found here. And you're really just answering more questions, making your post more useful when you get to writing it. And that's the basics of the keyword research part that I use every single time I go to write a post. And I think this is a super useful couple tools within this program that you can use to quickly, it's kind of quick wins. It's not, it doesn't take very long to do this, but you'll see that if you use this, you'll have quick wins and you'll see an increase in your traffic for sure.
Yeah, that's incredible. I had no idea about this tool. It's really amazing. I just on like you talked a couple of times there about keyword stuffing. Google can essentially pick up on that now as well, right? They're pretty good at understanding the flow of the blog post, and if you're just trying to stuff keywords in there, you're going to get penalized. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely, yeah. Google's gotten so smart. Even when we started with our blog, you could stuff keywords into your blog. You could get links from dodgy sites, and you could do all these things to just quickly, basically game the system, outwit the system, and you would shoot to the top of Google. Now the Google algorithm and the Google bots, they use AI and they're super smart. They're smarter than we are. So you can't really try to cut any corners. The goal in your head, and SEOers will tell you this all the time, even when you're writing particularly for SEO, the goal should always be to create the best, most useful content, not to stuff keywords. Because yeah, like you said, Google will pick up on that and they'll just kick you out of the search results. And you can actually have your whole domain damaged by doing spammy things like that, spammy practices, So you want to be careful that you're using SEO, but your number one goal is to make sure that your blog and your posts are the most useful for your readers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just doing the right thing is always a good long-term strategy, no matter what you're doing anyway. So yeah, that's really cool. Sure. This is amazing, Nick. I'm loving it. What's the next thing we need to be thinking about?
So the next thing I do is obviously write the blog post. And I think I'm going to actually stop sharing this. So I think we've covered a lot about that already about when we're doing our keyword research. What I would say is when you're writing your blog post, you want to have the main keyword in the title of the post, but you also want to have a lot of secondary keywords throughout your post. So we saw those in the first screen we were looking at, where it said must words, and then the second screen was called keywords, and it said all the keywords that other people are using. You want to try to use those as much as you can as well to give your blog a chance to rank for other keywords, because you might find that you rank number one in Google for the best golf clubs for men, but you might also rank for the best men's pitcher, the best men's sand wedge, whatever, because you have that a few times throughout the post. So use those keywords that you got from key search, those extra ideas, and also add those in throughout the post. And your main keyword should show up throughout the post quite a few times. I don't stuff it at all, but if you're writing a 5,000 word post, it'd be great if you had the keyword in there 5 different times, the main keyword. And then you try to have it in the title, of course, which is H1. That's the title of your blog post. And then you want to also have it in H2 tags throughout the post, which is just an HTML tag that makes the text a little bigger, but it also speaks to Google to tell them, hey, this is like a main point in this post. So if the keywords are in there as well, it helps it. And then throughout the main part of the content. And that's the basics of writing the post. And I think by using the stuff we learned in the last part of this little session, you're easily going to start flowing with the post because you've got all these questions that people are asking in Google that we just learned in key search. You've got all these keyword ideas, and you've got the basic structure of your post already in your head when you go to write it on WordPress or whatever program you're using.
Yeah, amazing. I love that. A couple of quick questions, like for people who are, let's say, using WordPress. There's different plugins out there that claim to help with SEO, and then you've got your tags and your categories that is inbuilt into WordPress. How important are those types of things to ranking?
Yeah, they are really useful. A lot of people are using a lot of different tools right now. For beginners, I still recommend Yoast. There have been issues with Yoast in the past. There's been some glitches, but overall, Yoast as a free use platform is really, really useful. So you just download the Yoast plugin, and then when you're writing your post in WordPress, at the bottom of the screen, it'll show a bunch of recommendations from Yoast, and those are golden. Basically, they're going over what I've already said. Having the keyword in the content, having it in the H1s, the H2s, having it in your meta description. Excuse me, sorry. But it just gives you all those ideas, and it's kind of a blog writing checklist if you use Yoast, because at the bottom it tells you everything you should do, and then you might be like, oh, I forgot to put my main keyword in the H2 tag, or I forgot to write it in the main content. So they are useful for sure.
Yeah, amazing. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm loving this so far. I guess what the takeaways for me are, well, the biggest thing that is standing out for me right now is you're talking a lot about ranking for keywords that don't have a huge amount of search volume. Any other time that I've spoken to someone who wants to do SEO or is hiring an agency, or for a company that I used to work for, when we're talking about SEO, we're looking for like really big search terms to try and get that huge amount of traffic. But yeah, so I really like the way that you think about this, and searching for those keywords that are going to get a result quickly for you. So yeah, I mean, there's so much value in this presentation for everyone at home. Like, I encourage you to continue coming back to this and learning and connecting with Nick, because this is really cool. So awesome. So we're ranking, we're writing our content, we've got our SEO sorted. What's the next thing that we need to be thinking about?
Yeah, so the next thing is basically marketing and backlinking to the post. So SEO is really a simple process, right? People can make it really confusing, and really it can sound overwhelming, but it really is a simple process. It's basically, doing keyword research on the topic, writing blog posts that Google's going to love, and then backlinking and marketing to that content. It's really not that difficult. If you just keep that simple 3-step process in your mind, you can have great results without getting too deep into the complexities that can come with SEO. So the next step is backlinking and creating, marketing around the content. So I just want to say before I move on is that I did the smaller keywords that only have a volume of 200, 300, 150. Definitely those are the best when you're first starting out and with SEO, and you definitely want to rank for up to 20 or 30 different keywords in one post. So while you're writing your post, like I said, you're using all those secondary keywords, and the goal there is that they're low difficulty, so you're not going to have such a hard time showing up in search results when your own domain authority is lower, and you're going to rank for maybe 15 or 20 of them, you hope, in a good case scenario, and then you're going to get a lot of traffic to that post by ranking for many smaller keywords. As your blog starts to grow, then you can, and as you get a feel for what you're ranking for, then you can start, going for a little bit larger key terms that have larger search volume, a little bit more difficulty as you go. But when you're first starting out, definitely start with those lower ones and try to rank for 20 or 30 of them. And that's not to say that I don't still go for the low terms as well with our blog. Our blog's established, but I'll still go for those in my case as well. But I'll also mix in a few of the more difficult ones, like you're saying. So yeah, and then the next stage is backlinking basically and marketing your post. So once you publish your post, of course, you're going to want to share it on your social media. You're going to want to have a Pinterest account, and you're going to want to create a few pins at the bottom, like they're like images that people can then hover over and click pin it. And that's just going to help kind of get your post out there in circulation. And it's going to automatically give it the opportunity to be linked to from other people. So if people find your blog post really, really useful, it's more likely that they're naturally just going to link to you in their own blog posts. And each one of those links is like a vote. You know, Google sees those as votes. So if a lot of people are voting for you, Google will move you up in the search results. And the more opportunities you have to get linked to, the better. So yeah, first thing, you hit that publish button, you share it on your Facebook, you share it on your Twitter, your Instagram, and you have that pin at the bottom. So hopefully other website owners see it and they're like, oh, great post. I was writing about golf clubs. I'm going to link to that as a resource for men's golf clubs or whatever. And that's really useful for you. And then there's active link building as well. So that was kind of passive link building. You're just sharing it and hoping that people find it really useful and they'll link to it. Active link building, there's so many different ways to do it these days. But still, I think the best way is to provide value to other bloggers and to get a backlink yeah, they pay you back with a backlink basically. So I say guest post outreach is still the best way to build backlinks. There's a couple other ways we'll cover today, but when you're starting out, you write a great post about men's golf clubs, and then you basically reach out to a bunch of other websites who have written something similar and say, hey, would you mind if I wrote a post for you about men's pitching wedges? You know, you don't want to write the exact same blog post on another site, because then there's a chance that that site will outrank you in the search results. But you might take it one level deeper and do, you know, pitching wedges for them, men's pitching wedges, or one level back, you might just be about golf clubs, and you're going to link to your own post from their website. And that link is going to count as not only a vote to Google, you know, and Google's going to maybe move you up one position in the search results, but it could also be really good that you're introducing your brand to the audience of that other website. And the more you do that, the better. That's how we grew. I mean, when we started, we were doing 10, 15 blog posts for other people every month. We were really spending more time writing on other sites than we were for ours, because at first, you know, when you write for your own blog, no one reads it, you know, because you have no traffic. So you leverage other people's traffic to bring traffic to you. And it also helps Google, because Google, like I said, sees every link as a vote. So yeah, basically you write the post, you share it around, and then you start reaching out to your fellow bloggers in your niche and try to get some guest posts on their sites. Another really useful kind of link building tactic that's not too spammy. I don't want to get into black hat link building, because we were talking about it earlier, how Google's smart and they can figure this stuff out. The easiest way to get penalized by Google is to do spammy backlinking practices. So, you know, you have a group of bloggers who are in this triangle who always link to each other, and it's just like a link wheel, or you actually build your own websites and you have 20 websites of your own and you just interlink them all the time. These link wheels and this spammy kind of tactics, super easy for Google to catch, and they'll penalize you, and your traffic can go from here to here in like overnight. So we're going to stick to the white hat ones that are going to have long-term effect, and again, that are useful for readers. So another one I like to do is called hot link building. And what you do is you go into Google and you search, like if we're using this example of golf clubs, I don't know why we did golf clubs, by the way, but whatever. If you search golf clubs, you can see a bunch of posts come up, obviously, about golf clubs. There's a little trick you can do just within Google. There's a little button that says more tools on the right, and then you can click in the last 24 hours, what people have written and published in the last 24 hours. And what you do is you go into each of those blogs, and because the blogger has just published it, they're still thinking about it. They're probably still going back and editing it, making it better. So you reach out to those bloggers and you say, hey, like I also wrote a really great post about this, but it's in a different part of your blog. You know, it's not the exact same as your blog post, but maybe they wrote about the best golf clubs in total, and say, hey, I went more into depth about just for men's pitching wedges or just men's golf clubs. So I see you just published this post, really love it. Would you mind writing to me or linking to me? And when you write those kind of emails to bloggers, and they're more personalized because it's like you knew that they just published it, like you've been following them. And also you're saying to them, like you read the post, of course, you're being honest. You read the post. If you like it, you want to link back from it. And that can work really, really well. Much better than just cold outreach, where you're just reaching out to tons of different websites and saying, hey, link to me. No one likes getting those emails. They never work. But if you really personalize each of your emails and you use that kind of hot link building tactic, it can increase your chances exponentially of actually getting those backlinks to your new post. So that's the basics of backlinking. That's the 3 steps we've gone through. We've gone the topic and SEO research over the topic, keyword research. We've gone through writing the blog post so that Google will like it and your readers will like it, and now basically marketing it and linking back to it. And those are the three most simple steps to really, really explode your traffic.
Yeah, amazing. Super valuable. I guess the only thing that maybe we'll just touch on quickly is just around the affiliate marketing bit. I don't think we really tied that into it just yet. So basically you're finding a product first, right? And then deciding what to write. Maybe just give us a brief overview of that.
Yeah, I got right into the SEO because I'm just an SEO geek. But the reason that these tie in, that they work so well together, is when we started doing the keyword research, like I said, when you just search golf clubs, people aren't really going to go buy something there, you know. But if you search best golf clubs for men, that's probably what people are searching right before they go and buy that. So that's part of it. And then also, you're going to sign up for an affiliate program through whatever company, you know, maybe it's, what are those? There's like REI, you know, like those sports companies online, and different affiliate programs you can sign up for. And if you use the link that tracks to that affiliate, then every time someone clicks on your link and purchases golf clubs or whatever it may be, then you get the commission back. And if you have Google constantly sending you traffic all the time to a post that is at the end of the buyer's journey, like the best golf clubs for men, what people are searching specifically right before they want to buy, then you have a really high chance of people clicking those links and purchasing through you. So I recommend signing up for a few affiliate networks at first. So there's AWin, and there's CJ, and there's ShareASale. There's a ton of these out there, and basically they're an aggregate for lots of different affiliate programs. So no matter what your niche is and what you're blogging about, you'll probably find some great affiliates in there. And just always be recommending products and services that you like yourself and you use and you can write honestly about. And that's gonna, you know, that's gonna reflect to the reader, and they're gonna think, oh, this guy's passionate about this, or this girl's passionate about this. And they know their stuff, and they're gonna, you know, they're gonna go and purchase through your links that way. So yeah, sign up for some affiliate networks, and use those links so that every time people purchase through them, you get a tracking link back to you, you get the commission. And yeah, you can also get affiliates directly with certain companies. So maybe if you're a travel blog, there's like travel insurance, like World Nomads, sign up directly with them. And there's, you know, booking.com has an affiliate program, sign up directly with them. And then every time someone buys travel insurance or books a hotel, you're going to get a percentage of that. And those can really add up. Like once you have a post ranking in Google for a good term, you can be making thousands of dollars a month off of one post if you get a lot of traffic to that one post. So they can be really, really valuable.
Absolutely. I love that. And the one thing that I love about affiliate marketing is that, firstly, you don't have to create the product. Secondly, you don't have to do any customer service for the product. So it ties in perfectly with the type of lifestyle of a digital nomad who's always traveling and not always at the laptop. And yeah, it can be quite lucrative as well, which is really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and once you start writing about something you love, if a lot of digital nomads are reading, watching this, they're going to be into travel. So if you're writing about travel, you love travel, it becomes easier. And if you have a travel blog and you're, you know, writing about your own personal travel stories, you can do that, and that's great. It helps your brand. It helps people get to know you, and you don't have to think about SEO for those types of posts. But if you want to have your blog traffic go up and make a lot more income, it's good to start thinking about this SEO, start implementing this stuff so you can rank for those words, and you'll see your traffic go up. And the more people that see your blog, they'll also get to know you. So it's kind of a win-win in that way as well.
Yeah, amazing. That's super cool. I love that. Nick, what would be some of the biggest mistakes that you see people making? I mean, we've probably covered a few of them already, but is there anything that sort of stands out that you would highly recommend people not do or be aware of?
Yeah, for sure. So we did cover some of them, but basically we can go over a couple of them. One thing is that they don't think about the buyer's journey. When they're coupling affiliate marketing with SEO, you know, people start just trying to rank for, like we said, golf clubs, or maybe they just try to rank for travel insurance because it's a huge term, lots of search volume, but people searching travel insurance as a term in Google are probably just wondering, what is travel insurance? You know, and Google's going to show definitions and a few travel insurance companies, not a blog. When people start searching best travel insurance for backpackers or best budget travel insurance, and they get more specific and it's got that word best, that superlative in there, that tells, you know, people that they're going to be purchasing right away. So the key is to think, a lot of people just go for whatever term has the most volume. You don't want to do that. You want to go for one that's most likely going to have, be at the end of the buyer's journey and be somewhere where people are going to want to purchase. And that kind of ties into the second mistake that people make. They go, like you said, for those massive keywords. Just don't be afraid to try to rank for a bunch of different keywords that only have 150 to 300, 500, 1,000 search volume per month. That's fine. If you rank for a bunch of those, it adds up and your traffic will grow for sure. So don't just be like, oh, I want this one that has, you know, 50,000 searches a month. Yeah, you can wait for that one and maybe write a bunch of posts below that can rank for those smaller terms. And then another mistake that people make is only picking like one keyword, and they use key search. They find that one keyword and they think, oh, that's good, I'm going to rank for that. Never do that. Always try to go for maybe 10, 20, 30 different keywords within one post, and just hope that Google will show you in the results from many different queries. And that's the way to get the most traffic out of one post that you write. Another mistake, I think, is a huge one, is that people think these days, because Google does give value to long content, like typically. So people think, oh, I'm going to write a 10,000 word post for every single post I do, and I'm going to rank for everything. But in some cases, Google wants you to have a quick answer, so you don't have to write those enormous posts for every keyword. Like I said, look in those results, what other people are ranking, how many words they have in their blog posts, and try to match or do a little bit better than that, but don't go crazy. Don't go 10,000. Don't do an ebook for every post you have on your blog, basically. Yeah. What was I going to say? There was one more, I think. Yeah, okay, the last one I'll say. And we didn't really cover this in this session. So what I'll say is, people write that one post and like they get their keyword, they write the one post, they, you know, get backlinks to it, and that's it. One other step that you should do in that marketing step is to interlink other posts to that post. So you have many posts on your site on the same topic. If you're a blog about golfing, again, don't know why we chose that, but anyways, blog about golfing, then you're going to have probably a lot of posts on your site about golf clubs. You might have the best pitching wedges, the best drivers, the best whatever, all the different types, the best putters. And what you want to do after you publish that post is go into all those other posts that are relevant and link them to your new blog post that you just wrote with that SEO research we did today. So the more posts you have internally linking to that, it also helps the Google bots, or the Google spiders, to crawl and figure out what content is on your site. So you always want to interlink. And whenever you write a new post, it's like a real SEO post, you definitely want to go to all those other blog posts that are relevant on your own blog and create links to that new post and links from that new post out to those who are relevant. And that's going to help a lot with Google. And I think so many people don't do that. They just think, you know, I've written the post, I've built a few links, that's it. But you really want to have your own site interlinked as well. And that's all part of the voting system with Google as well.
Yeah, amazing. These have been such incredible tips, Nick. I think you've definitely over-delivered here for everybody. So yeah, I thank you for that. I guess maybe to finish up, do you have any final words of inspiration for people in terms of getting started with this strategy, or maybe just becoming a digital nomad in general?
Yeah, I think the main bit of inspiration I can give is just don't give up. I think we had it too, you know, when you're starting out and you have no traffic and it may take you a year or something to grow, 2 years, maybe you're 3 years in and you don't have that much traffic yet. Just don't give up. There's always new things you can learn, and SEO, if you haven't gotten into it yet, start learning SEO, start getting better at it, start using the strategies we taught in this session, and you'll see your traffic start to grow. And even knowing these tips, you know, don't give up if you try once and you don't get any traffic. It doesn't mean that your blog's not good enough, or you're not going to rank, or you don't know how to write. It just means it wasn't right at the time. You can try another post and another one, and keep throwing posts at the wall, and one will stick. And once it does, you'll be so happy because not only will you have more people, learning about you, you'll start getting those affiliate commissions coming in through those affiliate links that you've added into the post, and you'll start earning some money, and it just gets really exciting. And as you start writing more and more blog posts like that, it starts to build a big snowball, and the momentum carries, and you can just keep growing after that.
Yeah,
So don't
absolutely.
give up. That's it.
Yeah, such a valuable tip, and I think it's the same with everything. And it's a really strong message that I try and highlight from pretty much all of the speakers that we've had involved on this summit. Is like everyone says the same thing. Like, it takes time. You got to but once that momentum hits, like it can really move quickly. And yeah, there's a big reason why people are successful is because of the consistency and the persistence and the patience, I think. And yeah, I think that's really cool. So Nick, yeah, once again, I found this super valuable. I'm sure people did at home as well who are looking to get started with this strategy. And if they do have more questions, or if they want to continue the conversation with you or check out your blog, whereabouts can they go to do that?
Yeah, check out our blog, goatsontheroad.com. Like you said, is where we show people not only the best travel destinations, but how to run an online business and how to basically live as a digital nomad. And also check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, all /goatsontheroad. And yeah, if you guys want to dive deeper into SEO, I have a free SEO training on my site.
So we'll link that up down below as well. And I definitely encourage everyone to go and check out what Nick just talked about there, the free SEO course. So there's so much more to learn with SEO. And Nick has been kind enough to put together this free course, especially for you, so you can continue to dive into that on a much deeper level. So definitely go and check out that course now and continue diving into this topic, because it can be a really strong and really effective strategy for you to build a long-term business, and hopefully you end up traveling the world full time, just like Nick and his partner is as well. So go check that out now.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you guys.